Hello, everyone, and welcome to my webinar on taking the guesswork out of VDI troubleshooting for your work from home workforce. First of all, I would like to thank the vBrownBag team for putting this together so quickly, especially us having a stage set up last year to having a webinar this year so quickly and easily. In this particular webinar, I'll be talking about the VDI troubleshooting process. And over the past 6 months or so, especially since our pandemic started, we have been going through a lot of organizations have been moving more towards VDI to basically make their employees work from home. So in this particular webinar, this is the agenda. We'll be going over some of the main VDI complaints that we see on a day-to-day basis. What are some of the VDI components and their stress points? We'll be looking at a troubleshooting flowchart that we have put together in order to quickly understand where the issues could lie, and to have a systematic approach into troubleshooting a VDI performance scenario, performance issue. And finally, I'll be going over a couple of examples to show you how you can troubleshoot an infrastructure or networking issue with regards to the VDIs itself. So let's talk about some of the major VDI complaints. So firstly, a lot of people, when it comes to VDI, they have issues with either login or if it takes too long to log in. So this could be quite a few, this problem could have quite a few fold. It could be something related to their LDAP authentication, Kerberos authentication. It could either be that there's some kind of congestion on those Kerberos or LDAP servers. Also, it could be something on the connection server regards. It could be something on latency. So there are a few different things that we can talk about in this perspective. But this is one of the complaints. The second is not being able to access the application, and the application crashes quite randomly. What that means is once the user is logged on to the VDI desktop, the mission critical application, such as the ERP system, the databases that they utilize to do and perform their job, it either becomes inaccessible or it crashes randomly. So this could be an issue either on the VDI side, or it could be something on the application side itself where there is very high responses. Thirdly, it could be sluggish user experience for the application. A sluggish user experience could be due to quite a few different scenarios. It could be the internet connection. It could be their home network. They could have multiple people using their home network, streaming Netflix or any other applications, especially in the work from home scenario. When you have multiple people in the same house working, it becomes even more harder to maintain a specific level of user experience. Next is the performance challenges during certain times of the days. During certain times of the days, there could be certain batch processes that you may not necessarily be able to find out in just one go, where one VM or one VDI desktop or multiple VDI desktops may end up having this particular issue. And lastly, you could just have random session drops. Typically, random session drops do not happen mainly because of some kind of a network-related issue where there's a complete network outage within the data center. That could be like a one-off scenario, or it could just be scenarios where a particular VDI desktop does not maintain connection. Some of the view agents inside the desktops probably crash, or something of that sort. So there could be a few different scenarios with regards to these, with regards to some of the most common complaints that we have seen with regards to VDI desktops. So in this particular section, I'll be covering what are the most important VDI components and its response. But before I do that, I would like to quickly show you how people used to access C traffic before VDI and how VDI has actually made it a lot simpler. If you look at the bottom of my chart, you can quickly see that there are a lot of RDS traffic. So before VDI desktops became more popular, people used to RDP into their work computers and then access the application traffic from there. Similarly, when you're at home, you could RDP into your work desktop, going through a firewall, through a VPN, accessing the application from there. Similarly, if you wanted to access the application directly, you would use home VPN through the firewall and directly access your ERP servers, databases, and any other applications that you needed to. But with all this, there are definitely some security risks associated with that. And that's why VDI has gained a major popularity over the past few months, especially when security has been put in the forefront of many organizations, along with the ability for them to work from home. When it comes to VDI, there are a few different components that you need to be aware of. First of all, again, just like a regular VMware environment, you need to be aware that they all run on top of an ESXi host. You have multiple virtual machines or VDI desktops that are running inside. Apart from the VDI desktops, which are the most critical components, you have your connection servers, your security servers, and other components that are associated with VDI itself. You also have your on-premise applications that all these VDI desktops need to be able to access. Again, just like your databases, ERP servers, if it's a medical organization, any medical softwares and things of that sort. So you can quickly see all that. And similarly, when it comes to a remote workforce, they need to be able to access the VDI desktops from their homes, either using a public IP address that is set up on the VDI desktop pool or the connection server, or through a VPN that has to go, that will basically divert traffic through the firewall into the data center to look into the connection servers itself. So looking at such a complex setup, you can quickly see that there could be multiple areas where there could be potential stress. So let's take a look at some of these areas. Firstly, on the VDI desktops itself. On the VDI desktops itself, you can quickly see, you should be able to quickly see if there are any potential problems with regards to the compute, CPU, the memory related information. Are they spiking up? Is your GPU performing optimally? This basically helps in the user experience of that particular end user. Secondly, you want to see the ESXi hosts those VDI desktops are sitting on. Do those VDI desktops, do those ESXi hosts essentially have enough compute, enough storage, and processing capability to have the number of VDI desktops inside them? Thirdly, you want to see the connection between these VDI desktops to the application servers. Are there any network latencies between your VDI desktops to the application servers? Is there any application delays or application response times between the two? You would want to take a look at this to ensure that your application performance between the VDI desktop and the enterprise application is seamless. Next, you would want to see the traffic, you would want to see the VDI on-premise user experience when it comes to your thin clients that are inside the environment. So there could be any issues such as networking issues between the VDI thin clients to the VDI desktops itself. Another thing could be the firewall. The firewall could be blocking certain packets, could be causing packet drops that could impact the end user experience as well. And finally, you want to take a look at, for a remote worker, the most important aspect is the connection. There could be an issue with regards to the internet being slow or the home network being slow. So you would want to take a look at the network connection between the VDI remote user to the VDI desktop tool itself. So a simple troubleshooting flowchart would begin as you see over here. You would always want to keep your end user experience in mind when you start your troubleshooting process. You would want to see whether the issue is due to a network response time or an application response time. Say if it's due to an application response time, you would want to see the VDI performance. The VDI performance can be split up into a couple of different things which you would want to troubleshoot, which is either the VDI session setup or provide you with the desktop activities and resource provisioning. So desktop activities include all the different processes that are running in that particular VDI desktop. And once we understand all that, we could provision the resources accordingly. Second, when it comes to application response time, you would want to look into both the application dependency maps to basically see the flow of your enterprise applications. As you know, most of your enterprise applications are multi-tiered. So you would want to see if there's an issue in the database, the web servers, and so on to quickly troubleshoot any problems. Next, you would want to see any transaction analysis. Are there any particular errors that are taking place between the different queries when it comes to the application response times itself? When it comes to the network response time, there are a couple of things to look at. One is to look into the north-south traffic within the environment to quickly see if there are any bandwidth limitations, any band link issues between your north-south traffic, and also see if there's any network switch or router related issue with regards to traffic diverting to the internet. Secondly, with regards to the LAN east-west traffic, you would want to make sure that that you have adequate east-west traffic visibility so that you can see all the connections between your VDI desktops to your application servers, or even between the different VDI desktops in between different hosts and things of that sort. And finally, you would also want to see the network edge performance to see if there are any particular issues with those remote sites within your environment as well. So this would be a very, very simplistic troubleshooting flowchart to quickly see what's going on within your environment. So in this, I'll discuss a couple of scenarios where there are infrastructure challenges. First, in order to see if there's any infrastructure challenge, monitor based on the different VDI desktops and quickly see if there are any issues in your compute, in your storage related information. And in this particular case, you can quickly see that there is some memory health related issues for a particular VDI user. Second, once you identify those memory related issues, you can drill down to see the level of spikes in each of those VDI desktops and the resource constraints and challenges that they have. Finally, once you have all the resource constraints, you can drill in and try to find out what are the different processes that are taking place within the environment. This could be done using either a specific tool, monitoring tool, or you could also use drill into the OS from the task manager as well to get this level of data. Next, a scenario to look into some of the networking challenges. First of all, when you want to view your networking challenges, you would want to visualize the end-to-end dependencies for applications, right from the thin clients all the way to the databases of the applications itself. Once you get that information, you would want to see what are some of the issues. And in this particular case, you can see network response time is higher than usual. So using this, you can isolate the issues to the virtual network. And finally, once you get this information, in order to understand what is causing the network response time, you would want to isolate the issue further to see what's causing the issue. And in some cases, issues such as virtual packet drops can be the root cause of your high network latency within the environment itself. So once again, everybody, thank you for listening to my presentation. And I would like to thank the vBrownBag team for giving me the opportunity to do so as well. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter or LinkedIn. And my website is also listed down below. Once again, thank you very much.